everyone, my name is Jacqueline Walliser and I am the owner of and attorney at the Walliser Law Firm. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video and the educational video series that I am doing on legal planning tools to help you plan for your family and your estate. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the assets in your estate and the importance of how you legally own those assets. So first, let's talk about what actually is an asset that is in your estate. That is, for the most part, any asset that you own. This could be a bank account, this could be a car, this could be a life insurance policy. So almost everyone in the United States has some sort of estate. It may be a small estate, but they do have an estate that needs some sort of legal planning to make sure that it's properly taken care of upon their passing and their disability. So let's look at how we legally own these things, because this is important. So we're going to go over different types of legal ownership. The first type of legal ownership we're going to cover is a joint tenancy. So my husband and I, we own our home jointly. Both of our names are on the deed. That means we each individually own the whole. Now let's say I have a life insurance policy of which my husband is the beneficiary. So it's a beneficiary designated owned asset. Then let's say I have a bank account that has a payable on death designation. And let's say that my mother, Brenda, is that designee. She's the payable on death designee. And then let's say I have a transfer on death asset. So this is typically something other than a cash account, like a stock. And on that stock certificate, it says it's supposed to be transferred on death to my brother, Brent. And then let's say I have a bank account that I'm holding in trust for my brother Keith. That means he's the beneficiary of it. And then let's say that I have some things that are in my name alone. And of course, though, I have a husband that I want to take care of. And so I want to make sure that he gets everything when I pass away. So I draft a last will and testament that says everything should go to my husband, Luke. And then I pass away. Who gets what? Luke should get everything, right? Well, let's see. The assets that I own jointly with my husband, Luke, will go to Luke. The beneficiary designated account of which my husband is the beneficiary of will go to him. The POD account, so the payable on death account, will go to my mother, Brenda. The transfer on death asset will go to my brother, Brent. The in trust for asset will go to my brother, Keith. And what is in my name alone will be distributed according to the terms of my last will and testament. So do you see the problem here? Most people don't realize that how they legally own things trumps what their last will and testament says. So they may think they're leaving everything to their new spouse or to their children. But in reality, if they also don't go back and change that bank account that they opened when they were 18 with a certain payable on death beneficiary, and now they're 30 and that payable on death beneficiary should have been changed, then it's not going to go to who you think it's going to go to. And this can have really unfortunate consequences in the real world. Let me introduce you to Sally. One day, Sally came into my office and she said to me, "My father owns this piece of land up on the mountain. And he told me that when he passed away, the land was to be mine. It's been in my family for a long time." And she says, "See, even his last will and testament," she lays it on my desk, "says that this land is supposed to be mine. But my stepmom, she won't give it to me. She won't even let me access it. Can you please help me get this land?" So I said, "Sally, that sounds like a really unfortunate situation, and I'm really sorry you're going through that. But there is something that I need to know before I can tell you if I can help you get this land. Sally, do you know how your dad and stepmom legally own the land? Are both their names on the deed?" And she said, "Yeah, they're joint owners on the land. Both their names are on the deed." I unfortunately had to tell Sally that I could not help her get the land. I explained to Sally that because her dad and stepmom were joint owners of the land, at law, immediately upon her father's passing, the land became wholly her stepmom's. Therefore, there was nothing in her father's estate for him to pass through his will in terms of this land. So unfortunately, there really can be some pretty dire consequences to not properly thinking through this. I really encourage you to look back through your assets and make sure that the designations are who you want them to be, and to make sure that your last will and testament lines up with that as well. Once again, it can lead to real world consequences that are just no fun if you don't take the time to do this. I hope that you learned a lot today about how you own assets now and how that affects the way that assets are passed at your passing. In the next video, which I'll post in a couple of weeks, I'm going to talk about these assets now and talk about how you should deal with them now. A lot of times people come to me with questions in regards to, should I give this thing away? Should I gift this? Do I need to go ahead and let my kids have this? So if you are in the age range where that's something that you've been thinking of, or if you have a parent that's in that area, if that's something that they're thinking of, I really encourage you to tune in for the next video. I certainly believe that what you're going to learn is going to surprise you. If you have been enjoying these videos, I've included a link below where you can subscribe to a monthly newsletter where I discuss these things in more detail and really discuss subjects that I'm not going to be able to get to in the video series. Also, if you have questions or if you would like to set up an appointment to talk with someone about your estate, you can also contact us from this link below. I hope you really enjoyed today's video. I hope you learned a lot and that you're now better prepared to plan for your family and your estate. Thank you and have a great day.